What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Oh, look at who's here. My sister friend, Coach Jessie, is here with me today. And you know, July is Fibroids Awareness Month. And this year, it got even more real. And in an exclusive new interview with NBC's Zinco Esamua. Am I saying her name right? Esamua?
Zincle.
Okay. Zincle Esamua. Venus Williams opened up for the first time about her 30-year painful battle with fibroids. That's something we've been talking about nonstop. She said she never had enough energy most times to play a real match the way that she wanted to.
Can you imagine?
And doctors did not even connect that with the condition. And so they also downplayed the concerns that she had. That happens a lot. And she told Self, I remember playing my first French Open at the time I was 16. Before the second round, I was waiting for my match and I was just hugging the toilet bowl. I was losing my lunch over period pains, that awful pain. I remember times like, you know, being in the car just doubled over in pain. And I've had friends that are like, I can't even go to work today. I can't do anything today. I got to be home. I got my period.
Yeah. You know, first of all, shout out to you, Venus Williams. Thank you for sharing your story because she's like the poster child for all the women we deal with every day at the Detox now and women that are in our lives that we know. The painful periods where she's actually having vomiting, right? She is a high performer. You would think she gets the best care. She is hugging the toilet waiting for her match. Doesn't have enough energy. First of all, how about what if she had all the energy? What would she have done to the tennis world?
I know. Imagine how that affected her game.
She said it affected her career.
You know, and playing tennis is so high intensity.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I can't even walk up the steps. So imagine you got to play tennis.
No. And, you know, so we talk about fibroids here all the time. And we know the stats. It's fibroids affect 40 to 80% of all women. And then when it comes to Black women, it's 2 to 3 times, which, you know, is up to 90% by age 50. That is a huge, huge contingent of people being affected by fibroids. And, you know, she revealed in her interview with Zincle that even before winning her 6th doubles match with Serena, at Wimbledon in 2016, she says she was laying on the floor in the locker room like, it's going to pass, it's going to pass. And thank God, Serena, she says, got the doctor and she was able to get up and eat and start playing. So not just that, she says she, just like so many women I've spoken to in coaching sessions and consultations, had to carry extra pads, clothes, you know, due to heavy periods. And the crazy thing is she went undiagnosed for decades until 2016. And the only treatment option they offered, which we already know, was
a hysterectomy. Yeah.
Right. So again, I say she's the poster child because so many women, I want you to know you are not crazy. Okay. You are not crazy. You are being seen and you are being heard. And we know that what you are going through is real. And more than ever, we want you to know that you are not alone. And you have options.
Right. And she did turn down that hysterectomy.
Yes.
But she did then take prescription painkillers.
Yep. That's how she managed it because she didn't want to lose that. She didn't want to go through that invasive surgery that was actually a long-term, irreversible situation where you no longer can have kids. It just changes you. Right. So now we know more than ever here we have, with everything going on, we have changes to healthcare access, as well as, you know, the health inequities that we know we already face because of what we talked about. And more than ever, we're talking about the fact that it is time for us to use prevention, not just as you know what, that's a nice to do, but it really is a survival mode now, right? We have to know that more than ever, we have power to do things to live a life free of preventable health challenges, such as fibroids and more. And women, we want to put the power back in your hands.
And to your point, Coach Jessie, you keep on being like, Angela, did you go see the
girl?
Doctor?
Y'all can see our DMs.
Yeah. She's like, Angela, stop putting it off because I've been so busy. I've been traveling. I'm, you know, leaving again. And then, but you're like, Angela, you're right. I have to just schedule the date. But that's what we do need, like our friends to check up on us, hold us accountable. She's like, I don't mean to keep bothering you about this, but you're right. There's
I was like, I'm stalking her.
Yeah, it's fine. Stalk me. But, you know, all of these reasons of what we've been discussing is why we have this detox lifestyle.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
the Detox Now lifestyle. And of course, Coach Jessie, because this is a system that you developed.
Yes.
And, you know, I've been there with you from day one.
Yes, day literal one.
Yeah, literally the inception of all of this. But this is the blueprint for better health and fibroid freedom. And this is especially for Black women. I know women get fibroids, but Black women, we're so disproportionately affected.
Yeah, and we get the symptoms worse, more number. again, this is fueled by key things. And, when we talk about that, the one thing that I felt, and I was talking to Congresswoman Yvette Clarke last night, I said, the status quo in all these interviews is we don't know, why we're going through this. We're going through this. And I'm glad that we're ringing the alarm that we're going through this. But how about we now also spotlight the multi-factors that we know impact fibroids, right? Such as the vitamin D deficiency, which we know there's so many studies around, and we break it down. You can look at the studies in my book, and Fibroids Manual and Guide. The hormonal imbalance that we know is connected to it, that is affected by hormone disruptors in the environment, in the products, in the foods, right? And then the chronic inflammation. And guess what? Black women are disproportionately affected by those things, and that's why we experience fibroids differently, right?
Man, listen, I do want to keep this moving because, we do have incredible results, and I'm always excited when I see people's testimonials.
Yes.
It means a lot to me,
Yes.
and I know it means a lot to them.
So the foundation of it is the lifestyle, right? So let's talk about the lifestyle real quick because I'm so excited about bringing these testimonies on. So the lifestyle we talk about is detox, balance, and prevent. Okay, so that's about detoxing is literally you talk about targeted fasting, right? So whether it's just determining if it's water fast, fruit fast for you, or if it's intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, but resetting your body. That's it. Resetting your body through targeted fasting, all right? And then once you now have reset your body with the proper detox, which we're about to do our next challenge next week, y'all. So if you're not ready, get your detox kit. Let's get it. We have so many amazing testimonies. Okay. Sidebar, she couldn't come, but there was a sister who just lost 34 pounds. She did it for 10 days. She lost 34 pounds. And better yet, she regulated her blood pressure, which she was in the hospital 3 times because of nearly fatal blood pressure. Okay, so that makes me excited. All right, anyway, so the second part on the lifestyle is balance. So you have to now bring that all together. Once you've cleared your body, you're balancing your hormones using targeted supplements and lifestyles like our balancer and eliminator, as well as D3 to shrink fibroids, help your body regulate your cycles, help reduce symptoms naturally, okay? Because it's all about what you have the power to do. And if you need surgery, incorporating that as well as the lifestyle, because it's not either or.
Right. You can do both. You can supplement
both,
it.
Right. And then once you have balanced your life, it's about prevention, cultivating a lifestyle, a proactive lifestyle of wellness. So we have our multivitamin and more to help people with that. So the we have amazing testimonies of sisters who, for me, it's a privilege. I almost cried when I saw them. I met them for the first time in the lobby here.
Oh, okay.
Because we have cried together on the phone, on the Zoom, etc. So I'm excited to bring first Selena, right?
Hey, Selena.
Selena Martin.
Okay, glowing.
Hi, glowing, girl. Look at that melanin popping. Selena was told she needed surgery for her fibroids. Her largest one was 9.1 centimeters.
Listen, Selena, please tell me what happened. How did you even know you had fibroids?
Honestly, it's really crazy that I found out because I didn't have all the symptoms that a lot of people usually have. I didn't even know to really look for a fibroid. It wasn't a concern that was on my radar. But when I went to the doctor, I had gone to the doctor because my husband and I had been trying to conceive.
It's infertility.
I had a desire to be a mother, ultimately. Since I was a little girl, it was always a deep longing in me to be a mother. And last year, I got pregnant after about 2 years of trying with my husband. I got pregnant, was so excited, and then suddenly the most exciting, happy moment of my life turned into one of the most devastating and difficult seasons I've ever had to walk through as I lost my baby.
Wow.
And that was a really difficult journey. Thank you. And as I grieved that over the following months, I never let go of the hope and the prayer that God would answer this prayer, that he would give me children one day. And
I want to ask you before you finish, how does that affect a marriage too? Because sometimes the way that you're feeling, the way that you think that he's feeling, how did that affect things?
I mean, honestly, I think that it really matters who you marry.
Hello.
But with my husband, I think that it really did bond us in a new way.
Great.
You have people who are a strong community. They grieve with you when you grieve. They rejoice with you when you rejoice. But there's no one that understands the depth of that kind of loss in the same way that you and your husband do for yourselves, for your family, and what that means to you. So we grieved together, but it did bring us a lot closer together. Yeah, and we learned a lot about one another as we supported each other through that grief. So my husband was a big encourager and supporter in just reminding me, hey, Selena, we don't have to give up hope. You know, this happened, but we don't have to give up hope. Like, we're going to keep the faith that this will be a desire that's fulfilled one day. And we're going to do what we can. We're going to do our part to make it happen. So
how did you find out about the fibroids?
So that's how, so I went to the doctor trying to get answers on what I needed to do for conception, and instead found out that I had a 9.1 centimeter fibroid.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't even really feel it. Like, I didn't know I had this in me. And the doctor was like,
and that's big. That's about the size of a large orange.
Okay.
Just for people to have reference.
Yes.
Because people usually use fruit as a reference.
Yes. Yeah. So when I could see it on the ultrasound, it was huge. And the doctor was even pretty discouraging when she said to me, you're 31 years old and you don't have kids, or 32. She said, you're 32 years old and you don't have kids. You need to hurry up and have a surgery as soon as possible, or you might not be able to have children. It's going to be too late for you. And I was told my only option was surgery and that it needed to happen as soon as possible.
Wow.
So that was how I got the news, expecting to leave the doctor's office
and
with
as a woman doctor saying that too.
Yes.
You would think a woman would be more...
I've had multiple women doctors say that was the option, that I could take birth control to treat the symptoms, but the only way to really eliminate the fibroid was surgery. And so I went home feeling really discouraged, really sad about that, and thinking, oh, a surgery is going to delay my plan for conception even further, because I'd have to go through the recovery time afterwards, and who knows what that will do to my body. So I felt really discouraged, but my husband felt very strongly that there was a natural way to combat this. He just said, Selena, I really don't think that surgery is the answer. I'm not going to force you and tell you you can't. Like, I support whatever you decide ultimately. But he was like, I just think that we should do some research. And I think that there is another way to combat that. So we did do some research. We looked into different options. And that's when my mom connected me to Coach Jessie.
Sidebar, shout out to her mom, Vicky, who went to school with Mark, my husband.
Oh, okay.
That's how we were connected. Right?
Her and her husband are lit. They connect everybody with everything.
Yes. Yeah, lots of connections. I felt like it was a divine connection, obviously, for such a time as this. Yes. And Coach Jessie, I told her in the lobby, she just treats everybody like they're her best friends. You know, this is our first time meeting in person, but I feel like I already know her.
And Coach Jessie gonna stay on you too, but in a nice way.
Oh my goodness!
In a great way.
In the best way. I get text messages from her at 10 p.m. You know, so how is everything? Update, and I'm like, I love her. Like, I feel like we're actually friends. I mean, it's yes. I really feel like it's been a divine connection. But even from that first time speaking with you, so Coach Jessie called me after my mom connected us, and I was crying. I remember I was so emotional on that Zoom call, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't stop crying. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And Coach Jessie really calmed me down and just gave me so much peace as she informed me on things I didn't even know. And she let me know that I had options.
That's right.
And she kept saying, Selena, surgery is not the only answer. I don't care if it's a 9.1 centimeter fibroid. It is not the only answer. You have options. And I believe
and if you wanted to have surgery, you know I was going to connect her to Dr. P.
Right.
Yes.
To the best.
Yes, to the best.
And I really did. I respected that too, because it made me feel like, okay, she's not just forcing a particular
but
agenda.
But if you are going to go to a doctor, we want you to go to somebody that's going to do an amazing job.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which, and you can trust that, you know. So I felt so supported, because she was like, either way, whether you go the surgery route or you want to combat this naturally, I'm here for you. I'm going to support you. And so after a lot of prayer, a lot of consideration, and listening to my husband, I decided to take what felt like a huge leap of faith at that time. And I started the detox now.
She did the balancer kit.
Yes.
She did balance. And at that time, we didn't have Eliminate yet.
Yeah.
So it's balance, D3, and the detoxer.
Yes.
Right?
And how was it?
Honestly, it was so much easier than I expected. I initially had thought, oh, this is going to be such a difficult process. It's going to be a whole lot of extraneous work. But honestly, a lot of my lifestyle changes were more moderate. You know, I was trying to take care of my body, just eating a little bit better, but I didn't do anything extreme.
Do you hear that? She didn't do anything extreme.
I really didn't. Yeah.
Some people think it is.
Well, before we revamped everything, it literally was like you had to be in boot camp.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I have to be at
sustainable.
home.
Yeah. It was like, that's not sustainable. I needed, we talked about healing needed to be more accessible, easy, and sustainable.
Yeah. And affordable.
Yeah, and affordable. Yeah, absolutely.
And it was all of those things, which I'm very grateful for because I was able to be consistent with it. And I told my husband, I was like, results, my biggest motivator is results. Within the first 2 weeks of taking the detox or doing the detox now, I noticed my body just felt better. And I kept telling my husband, I don't know, I feel good. Like, I don't even feel like there's a fibroid. I just feel so good. And I think the vitamin D played a huge role because I never knew how much vitamin D, like how big of a factor that is in your hormonal balance. Yes. So I think that played a huge role in transforming my health. But
it's
then
the number one hormone that your body uses to fight inflammation and tumor.
See, listen to that, girls. Vitamin D. And with the
D3.
vitamin K too. That we need that as well. Yeah.
With
so
the balancer and the detox.
I love that you thought about all that.
Another one of us.
Yes, I know.
Sign me up. I'm all about it.
You got me on the edge of my seat with this story. Keep going.
Well, so anyway, I went back to the doctor after about 6 weeks of using the detox.
Which, let me be clear. When she said, I'm going back, I said 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Dang, that's not a lot of time.
Right.
I'm like, did she have any results yet? She's feeling better. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
And honestly, I was like, I'm not expecting anything major necessarily, but I was like, I want to see that there's been something. I'm just hoping, like, even if it's half a centimeter smaller, I'm like, I want to see some results because that's going to motivate me even more. And I had my whole community of people praying. I mean, I just have a great community surrounding me. I went to the doctor, and when I got the ultrasound, the doctor's like, okay, so you have a fibroid, and it is 4 centimeters in size.
More than
I
half.
said, wait, excuse me, will you say that again? She said 4 centimeters inside, and this was a different doctor.
Wow.
So I was like, okay.
I need to go back to that other doctor, and there's no.
Yeah, exactly. She was the other one was in the Dominican Republic,
Okay.
so I'm like, I'm about to get a ticket just to show. But I told her, I said, okay, I had a 9.1 centimeter fibroid.
Right.
Like that means that this has shrunk in more than half its size.
Yeah.
And initially, she didn't believe me. She was like, no, they probably just miscalculated because she's thinking there's no way.
Right.
So I pull up the pictures
Girl,
from
said
my
I had the
ultrasound.
receipts. She
I
said
was
I had
like,
the
wait,
receipts.
no, wait, because she was ready to move on. I'm like, no, wait, let me show you.
She's on Real Housewives with these receipts.
Exactly. I had it with me. I show her the ultrasound pictures, and she's like, what? She goes, wow, well, that is really big. She's like, this is definitely 4 centimeters.
Wow.
So that was such exciting news to be able to come home, share that with my husband, to share that testimony with so many people who had been praying and believing. And I love how you said on Instagram, it's that faith with works.
Yes.
The combination. I believe that God heals, he answers prayers, but then uses things like
tools.
the detox
Right.
now, gives us the tools and resources that we need to be able to combat these issues. So I was so grateful for that testimony, so grateful for Detox Now, and the way that you have invested in me, Coach Jessie, the way that the role that you have played. Oh, don't make me emotional.
Girl, no, don't start.
Because I have to say, I don't know where I would be. I don't know if I would be where I am today had it not been starting this health journey in this way. Because, now I'm about to get emotional. Because it's not just the fibroid shrinking that I'm celebrating today.
Oh.
I found out a few weeks ago that I'm pregnant.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow,
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exclusive, Angela Yee.
Yes.
That is such a big deal.
If my family and friends are listening, I didn't tell you yet. I'm sorry.
Real exclusive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I got to
Best
see the
breaking
heartbeat
news
last
exclusive
week.
Ever. You saw the heartbeat last week.
Last week, I saw my baby's heartbeat, and it was a strong heartbeat, and it was such a beautiful, surreal experience. And
God.
I just think if I had gone with the surgery instead of taking the step of faith and trying this out, I might not be here today.
You'd still be on your way on this journey, most likely, right?
So to say I'm thankful is an understatement. And I just hope anyone
I'm
listening,
grateful.
if you don't hear anything else, that you have options, because that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is what I'm saying, man.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
Selena, I have to tell you that, years ago I said to God, when my story came out, I said, I saw the same rhetoric happening over and over, was that, well, this is what we have. Black women get them more than anybody else, and this is just the situation. And I just said, one day I prayed, said, God, would you help me to be a part of the cure, to help women put the power in their hands? And I had no idea that this one day we would be part of this.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was just a moment for me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I love you.
Oh, my God. And I'm so excited to share our next testimony.
Oh, wow. Okay, we got 2 testimonies today.
Yes. So, welcome, Maureen.
Hello.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi.
Woo!
First, I want to thank Coach Jessie and you, Angela, for having me on this show, and congratulate you both on your powerhouse partnership.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
it's
that.
so necessary and so timely.
Well, and do you and Selena know each other already, or you
No,
met
we
in the
all met
lobby
in the
too?
lobby.
We just been in love.
All right, I cannot wait to hear this story.
Well, I
Maureen.
wasn't as fortunate as Selena to come across Coach Jessie at the discovery of a fibroid. So the first time I may jump around, so
It's okay.
bear with me. When I found out that I had fibroids, I went to my OBGYN. At the time, I'm an avid exerciser. So I heard that when
Fit.
Yeah.
sort of. I heard that when you are, exercising extensively, that sometimes you can miss your cycle. And I missed my cycle, and I thought that was the cause of it. And I went to my OB, and he said, no, actually, you have fibroids. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, it's small. Don't worry about it.
Did you know what fibroids were before that?
Nothing.
Okay.
All I heard was, it was small. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I went home. I didn't ask any questions.
Let us interrupt and say fibroids are, for those who may not know, non-cancerous tumors that occur in and around the uterus and can actually vary in size, location, and quantity, and cause symptoms like heavy bleeding, painful periods,
Bloating.
infertility, bloating, and more.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
I definitely had painful cycles. And
You had them all your life, right? Painful or heavy bleeding?
I had them all the way up to 2012 when I had my abdominal myomectomy.
Right.
And they removed about 9 to 12 fibroids. They were various sizes. In 2017, I was 41, and I was desperately seeking to become a mom. And it was Christmas time. I was wrapping gifts, and I decided instead of listening to more songs that I would look for a natural solution on YouTube.
Wow.
And a video came up about a woman who eliminated 50 fibroids.
Shout out to Annalise
yes.
Henry. I
I
went
know
over
you
her this
know.
weekend.
Okay.
She's about to start her fast next week.
I saw that video and I'm like, what is the program? I need to get on it. And that's how I was introduced to Coach Jessie. I am an OG TDN.
She is OG.
I was going to say, I know that 50 fibroid story.
She's been around since 2018.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And first time meeting Coach Jessie, but I feel like
Today.
I know her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
We've cried on the phone, on the
we've
Zoom.
prayed.
We've
We've had all
together.
kinds of conversations. She is such a blessing and such a light, and has been a part of my healing ecosystem, which is what I consider TDN. So I did not want to have surgery again because I feel like surgery is necessary for certain things, but I also feel like it really masks the problem and you don't get to the root cause, which is why I was excited when I came across the Detox Now. And so in 2017, introduced to Coach Jessie, I started the fruit fast in 2018, the 30-day fruit fast. I thought it was a difficult fast because I had to be introduced to all these new foods, but I took it week by week, and it became very easy for me.
Right. I feel like the beginning is the hardest part as you're
yeah,
adjusting.
when you're adjusting to
Yeah.
it, right. But when you take it week by week, then you're like, okay, it's not so hard. I don't need to buy all these foods simultaneously.
At the same time.
And I took a break from exercising because I didn't know what it would do to my
I
body.
did the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't work out right now just in case.
just
I
in
don't have the
case I
energy,
fall out.
Yeah.
Exactly. But actually, I'm not new to fasting. I've done the master cleanse. I've done obviously the water fast. But when I did the 30-day fruit fast, I didn't exercise, and my stomach was gone. I hadn't seen a flat stomach in a long time. Not that I'm a big girl, but I felt so much better in my body. I was introduced to new foods. I was preparing my body for baby. I was living in California
right.
at the time, And I was on my way to church. I heard a radio advertisement for an IVF center that did natural and minimal stimulation IVF. So less needles, less drugs. I did minimal stimulation IVF. In December, I had a cycle. They could not find the egg when they went to retrieve it. Then in July, I had another failed cycle. This is all 2018. September, we sent 2 in, and I now have a 6-year-old.
That's right.
I know that's right.
So I thank Coach Jessie for helping me prepare my body for baby. I thank the Life IVF Center in Irvine, California.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful that I found something that works with my body. Balance is my jam. Whenever I feel out of whack, I take it. My cycle comes back. I'm not feeling pain. I'm now taking D3 and K2. I've done the 14-day water fast.
So she is a lifer now. So
definitely.
she has done the 14-day many times. So then I was like, oh,
3 times.
You got to do this. You got to do the 7.
Yeah.
So I was like, now you got to do the 7. So
that
she finally
14-day
did.
I did. That's a tough. That one was a little tough. Only because, and I always tell you this, it's hard to socially like do things because everything revolves around food when you go out, and so. But the 7-day I think is
The 7-day was like I said, the glow up without the grind.
Hey.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It was easy for me because
this is supposed
she's
to be
like,
harder.
I done did boot camp already.
I've done boot camp, and it wasn't a thing. And I felt good. I felt like it was the same result. Although you feel in your mind initially, is it really working?
Harder?
Right.
I should be struggling through this. But I had the same results. I felt like I was on my reset.
Yeah.
And
skin was skinning, body was
And I was
bodying.
gonna say, both of you, your skin is skinning. Like you came in here today just glowing.
Absolutely.
Because this is something that also with these detoxes, it really does help like everything, your hair, your growth of everything, your
gut,
skin, your gut,
to everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I really prayed too, like Selena mentioned, about finding something that would work for me. And I really did not want anyone to go back into my body and cut anything out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they wanted to take my uterus. They wanted to do uterine embolization. And in my gut, I felt like that's not the way. And so, this was such a grand option for me. Such an impactful option for me. And I just feel like if you find something that works for your body, continue on with that. Because now it's about prevention.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
We
it's
got
about
all the
prevention.
experts in the room. I love this.
You have to be an expert. You have to advocate for your body or for your health, because no one else will do it. And we were talking in outside and saying how we don't ask the doctors questions. And Jessie was like, because we don't even know what to ask them. And it's so true. And I feel like young girls need to be more in tune with their body, what's happening. Like I heard we're always in a cycle. Like we're always in our menstrual cycle, then the luteal phase,
Yeah,
then
it's always
perimenopausal, then menopause. There's always some kind of cycle that we're in. So I'm just grateful for
We're so
TDN.
grateful to be a part of your journey.
Yes.
And it's great because even having conversations with some of your friends, this is knowledge that spreads.
Yeah.
So we all know our friends that have fibroids, or maybe they do and they don't know, but they have the symptoms of it. I just think it's great to see, like, as leaders in this now, from having gone through it and being able to speak from your own experience, that's the most valuable thing.
Yeah. You know, I always say when you impact a woman, you impact literally a community, generation, and the nation, because really that's how we are. We impact
word
everybody.
of mouth. I've told so many people about TDN and just because it's worked so well for me, and I know everyone's body is different, but it's like if you have another option, go for it and see what it does for you.
That's it. You know.
Well,
So
listen,
thank you
I
for
love
being with
this, and we are.
It's Fibroids Awareness Month.
It is Fibroids Awareness Month, and I do feel like it's time for us to do the 7-day reset challenge.
Yeah, we're actually gearing up to do our 7-day reset. It's every quarter we do a challenge. So our Q3 challenge starts next week, July 13th through the 19th. We're inviting you all to join us, and everything's 25% off right now at thedetoxnow.com for the Freedom from Fibroids sale because we were like, listen, we're gonna make July about freedom from fibroids.
Okay,
but whatever you're
perfect.
dealing with, it's to reset your body. So we reset and then we eliminate.
I'm going to start with you from the 13th to the 17th, but then I got a trip to St. Martin for my friend's birthday, my
Okay,
bestie.
that's okay.
But
You can do-
I'm going to ride it out for,
That's it.
you know, and then
I
I'm
feel
going
like I
to
wanna join
you're gonna be
too.
an island though. See, you're gonna be an island, so you can still also have a lot of fruit too. You know.
I can. I'm going to do other things. But I'm just being realistic.
Yeah, I know.
I am.
Yeah, but when you get on the water fast, you have to be careful about how you reassimilate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I am.
I went
She
on a
knows.
girls trip after I did the 7-day water fast. I went on a girls trip, and I was in the period where I could actually eat food, but I felt like I had it too quickly.
Yeah, you can't go full force back in.
No.
You gotta. That's why there's a whole program
Yeah,
of
that's
what
why
you're
there's
supposed to eat
there's
after.
a meal plan.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I am cautious even before I start, and then when I'm done.
She eases and she
Yeah, I
supports
ease
everybody.
into it. So before I start any one of these detox now fasts,
Sugar, coffee.
I make sure that for a
alcohol.
few days I'm like toning it down because you can't go and have like a big celebratory meal before you go in and do it.
Look at
you'll do
Angela being the
damage.
expert. I love it.
No, but it's true because you gotta you don't want to like shock anything either.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, what's the point of going right back to doing what you were doing before that?
No.
Because I also feel like at the end of it, your taste buds also have changed.
That's true.
Yep.
You know, and
That's very
certain
true.
things like there's to this day like things that I'm like, no, that's too much, or
Yeah.
and I just don't even want it anymore because I definitely I feel like I love sugar and that's been a thing with me. But now I'm like, all right, when I feel the need for certain things, let's get some fruit, let's get
Yep.
this, and a lot of it is also what you have in the house. You talk
that's
about
true.
buying all the fruits, you don't got to
Yeah.
do it all at once, but it is nice to have things to snack on in the house because I know me, if it's in the house, I might eat it.
If it's in the
And
house.
so I just have to be cautious.
It's so true. I learned that after the 7-day detox that I did. I'm like, the water fast. It's like, why do I always get back on the struggle bus?
Yeah.
And I realized
The difference
it was
this time.
because I'm not stocking my house with the right foods.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay, what took me so long to realize?
She
this?
was
It's
like,
just-
I got a revelation this time.
That's how I started eating quinoa because of
Clarity.
this fast. I never had quinoa before. And then I was like, I could pronounce it and everything now.
So thank you, everybody. If you're struggling with fibroids, hot flashes, brain fog, trying to conceive, whatever you are dealing with, we're here to help you embrace better health. We
Yeah.
want you to know that you're not alone.
And even if you're not struggling,
Yeah.
and,
And you just
you're
wanna
just like, I
prevent.
need a reset and
Hey.
preventative, that's
Yeah.
important too.
Absolutely. Tell the truth.
All right.
All right.
We
we're
got
here
more for you always. But thank you, Coach Jessie. And I just want to thank both of you
Yes.
for
Thank
coming in here and sharing your testimonies with us today. Thank you so much, Selena, Maureen. I appreciate both of you because I know sometimes like people go through whatever they go through and it's kind of like in the vault.
Yeah.
But things like this really do help other people, other women,
Absolutely. It's true.
other Black women.
yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to suffer in silence or normalize the pain.
Hey.
All right, let's get that tagline.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank you
love
so
it.
much. It's way up.